Recording now. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, two bits of news are that Megan has given her notice that she will be joining her fiance, Bozeman.
Do you not want me to join my fiance work? He can fend for himself.
You're gonna do sports.
That's true. He is taking my cast, so I kinda need to go for the sake of Maris and not for him. Maris is the poor thing.
So Megan's last day with us will be August 9th. And Gary Howden-Wilmer has also given his notice that Gary will be retiring.
No way!
Towards the end of August. So
Congrats, Gary.
yes, congratulations to Gary, but we are going to miss your talents and you just get stuff done. So I will be posting some more, putting up some more job posting. Thanks, guys.
It's like it never ends.
Right, because I just hired 3 people, so 5 people in 2 months. That'll be fun. Sorry, super. I'm really looking forward to it. So, if any of you have friends, former colleagues, former classmates who are looking for design positions, let them know that we will have some postings up very soon. Maybe even today or tomorrow, so, alright. Anyway, let's look at some kudos. So, this is a page from Brandon for the Mitchell paper. Very nice centerpiece there. Nice barn shot. Just a good clean page. I'm just peeking at the teaser at the top. There's nothing fancy going on there. A 2,000 word story, 2,000 plus word story on a fight over a barn, Brandon says. So, wowie. How about that? There were no fights over the farmhouse that we've been fixing up. Probably because everybody else was smart enough not to want to do all the work that
You
we've
may
been
want to
doing.
contact these people and
Right.
tell them, are you sure about what you're getting into?
Yeah. You don't have any idea. Alright. We've got a Lake County page from Cindy Gilster. And there were a couple of things that I really liked on this page. For one, what a great perspective of this photo. The photographer clearly really got down on the ground with the chalk there. And then this fun little thing about the soapbox derby races. Not only the kid, but this guy here. I don't know what is going on with his soapbox car. If he's got an engine on it or what is going on, but that's a pretty center.
Or it's like
That's
a
a
kayak.
cooler. It's a cooler
Is it?
on the front.
Yeah.
It's that or it's a sewing machine.
No, it's a cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
God,
Yep.
I want to go to that thing.
It's like it's a
He
cooler,
like
but
put
then
a
he's
chair
put,
on
like,
a kayak with a cooler in the front.
Oh my god, I want to shake that man's hand. And he's wearing swimming goggles.
And not just wheels. These are totally like wheelchair wheels.
This photo gets more interesting.
Yeah,
the more you
it
look at
really.
it.
This is a fantastic centerpiece. Clearly, that's a lot of fun. So nice work, Cindy. Good stuff to work with there. So here's a page from the Herald, and this is one of Tanner's on pickleball.
Oh my god.
Getting big in Grand Forks. I have played pickleball. It's kind of fun. It's
in
very
high
big
school.
in the retirement community that my parents winter in. So it's very entertaining to see my 70-year-old dad and my 16-year-old son. And my husband was very unhappy that my 70-year-old dad and 16-year-old son beat he and our 19-year-old the last time.
Pickleball is not for the faint of heart.
Yes, yes, so it's entertaining. And here's one from Lauren for how light this photo is. So it really, the red of the, I believe it's, yeah, it's rose poached plums and apricots, or rosé, I should say, not rose, rosé wine. So that color just really pops off the page. And then she brought the red of the wine into the headline and drop cap. So nice looking page, Lauren. And I think this is just a really striking page. When you've got black and white here, and this is for the forum. Let's see. Oh, this is one of Emily's.
That's nice.
Like I said, using that black and white really to its advantage and bringing out that yellow just really makes a striking page. So, very nice work, Emily. This is one of Mark's for the forum for business, and nice little cutout action there, Mark. Mark is, I am saying this because I know quite well, because Mark and I sat together, or sat next to each other for, most of the last 20 years, and both of us really hate to do a cutout. So I am complimenting that cutout, Mark. Nice work. What's that?
I've been practicing.
Good job.
I still don't know what I'm doing.
Well, you faked it well if you didn't know what you were doing. So nice work. So.
It's from
And I like just how it really draws your eye up. It's a very vertical photo, but it's, pulling it up into the flag really helps. So nice work, Mark. Here's one for Bemidji, and this is one of Amy's. And again, a black and white page, but great photos, and she's got a lot of them on here. She's got a nice breakout box if you go, so well laid out. She really made the most out of the kind of the dead spots in the photo there, so nice job, Amy. And then we've got this one from Bob for Brainerd, and Bob did send a little note with this saying that the photo was only a 4-column photo, so he used some watercolor effects on the photo to bump it up. It's not something that I'm gonna encourage you do like on a straight news photo, and some of our papers would probably not like that sort of treatment, but especially on a photo that's too small, one, and one that is either a submitted photo, or in this case it looks like, these were submitted photos, so these weren't taken by your paper's local photographer. And I know that Bob can do a lot of fun photo treatments for Brainerd, so reach out to those editors when you get stuck with something that is not ideal to create a centerpiece with. Bob made the most of it here with that treatment, so nice work, Bob. Just gonna zoom out so you can see that whole page again. Nice looking page. So, excellent work this week, guys. I'm gonna just go through my notes really quickly to see, they are moving along with the plans for the changes in Grand Forks, as far as press times and the move of printing to Fargo. A lot of stuff is kind of changing on a daily basis, so I don't know that I can give you a ton of details yet, but right now it is sounding like, right now it looks like we'll go to press at 7 p.m. every evening, except for Sundays. There will be no printed product for Mondays for the Herald. At 7, the last 4 pages need to be out by 7. The rest of the paper really needs to be out well before that. the plan is that all sports that needs to be updated, like sports stories, will all be updated for the e-edition, and we'll have teasers that we use in the print edition, saying something to the effect of looking for the late sports scores, look on grandforksherald.com or on our e-edition of the paper. Those e-editions will have a lockup time of 11 p.m., so it's pretty similar to what their print product was or currently is right now. They intend to for late breaking news stories, those will be plugged in the printed edition, most likely on A2, because we'll need to go back into A2 for lottery results for the e-edition. But they'll have plug or FNS stories for the print edition, and then for the e-edition we can swap those stories out later in the evening. For sports, right now we're talking about just creating an extra sports page, because with the e-edition we don't have to have even page numbers or page counts. We can just add another page to the e-edition. I don't know exactly how that will affect how they're gonna work out like agate type of stuff, you know, if it will all just run a day behind in the print product, or if that will be updated as well for the e-edition or what. That's something I'm not quite clear on yet, so we'll be in talks with that, about that. They will begin, Kirsten's plan is to have the reporters all begin acting as if we're doing the early print starting August 13th, so that we have a couple of weeks to try and work out the kinks of those earlier deadlines, and so that they on their end can work through their new scheduling for reporters. They clearly are going to be working earlier in the day on their stuff, so they're going to start doing that a couple weeks early so that they can kind of work out those kinks before we actually move the press operations here and that earlier time. Right now at least, and this has changed already a couple of times over the past week since we found out about all of this. Right now it looks like the last Herald that will be printed in Grand Forks will be the 25th of August, which is a Saturday night. The first one that will print here in Fargo will be the following Monday night, because there will be that will be the first week that there's no Monday printed product. And it sounds like the Sunday night, the Sunday for Monday e-edition will, right now it looks like it'll be 7 pages, 4 of news and 3 of sports. So that is what I know so far. All of those things, like I said, there's been already a lot of changes even from a week ago, so I anticipate more changes coming, but over the next couple of weeks I suspect we'll get more details and things will start falling into place, and we will, we hub managers will start looking at whether we need to adjust any scheduling, especially on Emma's team, whether we need people in a little earlier on the night shift, although we're still gonna have to update late too, and there's other newspapers on her team that have to be done too, and those are still late. So it'll be, August I think will be a lot of changes and stuff, you know, as we have some new hires again, and all of our new hires that we just put in place are settling into their roles. And then these changes with the Herald, we'll see how everything shakes out. But like I said, I suspect August and into early September will be a little bit rocky, and then we'll kind of catch our rhythm and get things going again. So bear with us as we get through all those changes. Next week is the Alexandria Resorters editions. Any of you who were here last year might remember they have a big golf tournament called the Resorters Golf Tournament in Alexandria next week. Mindy actually pretty much put together the preview edition for that. They do 5 special editions of the Alexandria paper for that. They're little, they're not little, they're tabloid size, but there are 32 pages. 17 of those have editorial content. So there was the preview that comes out on the stands on Saturday, and then next week, each night, Tuesday through Friday nights, there will be editions that are put together live and go to press so that they're out. They're free giveaways that they hand out for this golf tournament. And so those are printed for the next morning. So the results of that previous day's play will be out on the stands the next day. So we will be putting those all together kind of later at night all next week. My notes from last year say that we didn't get very much content before 8 p.m. each night, and we went to press anywhere between 11:30 and 1:40 a.m. Those nights. It's kind of whenever golf play gets done and the stories are turned into us. So Emma will be managing all of that. She'll be on duty those nights, and we'll get those pages doled out to you guys. So right now, because we've got kind of this overlap of our new hires and our current employees, we've got a little bit of overlap on Joe's team, and so Michael has been able to pick up Forum Sports really quickly. So next week, I think Megan is going to end up taking the bulk of those Resorters pages. So lucky lady. So yeah. So that'll be on tap next week. Other than that, I think that is probably our biggest news of the days. New people leaving, new section papers changing. One thing, in particular with Grand Forks, we've been talking about this amongst us, we managers, and I've been talking with the editor there. Really please, for those of you who work on the Herald, be paying attention to their budgets. This will all kind of change in a couple of weeks with the major changes to their deadline times, but right now they're spread pretty thin, so they don't have a lot of staff on at night. It's really just their sports folks. So those of you who are working on their pages, please be sure to really be looking at their budgets and paying attention to their instructions so that you don't need to ask them as many questions. I know that in my time here as the manager, I've really been preaching, anything, ask the editors, ask the editors, ask the editors. But like I said, a lot of our newspaper staffs have really been hit hard over the past few years, and they're much smaller staffs than they had in the past, and so try and be cognizant of that. I certainly appreciate my downtime in the evenings, and it's pretty rare that the hub managers have to give me a call at night, and so try and think of those same things when you're reaching out to editors at night if you know that they're not in the office. If it's possible, if you need a story cut, maybe ask one of the copy editors if they have time to take a look, there's a good chance that they may have gone through that story once before already when they were getting it ready to go on a website or on the FNS budget. Likewise, if you have a headline that you need to adjust and you're not sure if it's accurate, go ahead and reach out to those copy editors. And I'll be reaching out to Jeff Beach to make sure that we can be leaning on his staff a little bit more. But, you know, if you're uncomfortable with doing those sorts of trims or changes, reach out to one of the managers, or, like I said, just ask one of the copy editors if they've got time to give you a hand. I'm sure that if they're swamped, they will let you know. So, and there are some of us just on the night staffs too that, you know, we've got people who worked as copy editors for 20 years before they joined the hub and suddenly only became designers. You know, they'd been copy editing and writing and taking photos and webbing stuff. You know, a lot of our folks, especially at the smaller papers, really did everything. So we can lean on each other as well if we need a little hand. So I think that is probably it for today, unless anybody has any questions or concerns or anything. Anybody on the line that wants to throw anything out? All right, then we'll let you get back to work. Thanks, everybody.